Alright guys, welcome back here to another video from your truly son of Scotland 90 FIFA 21. You've got a lot of explaining to do. We're going to cover the top 10 rated players from the Scottish Premiership in this video. And I just want to say EA, they've got it massively wrong. There's no doubt about it. You can argue, if you think a player's off a couple of ratings or not, but they've got this one. This boggles the fucking mind. Obviously, the people at EA they've never watched a game of football in Scotland, or maybe they're just anti-Scottish. I don't know. Maybe they're a bunch of English bastards that just want to run down the Scottish league and give every player that plays in Scotland a shite rating. That's the only thing that would explain this. And I'm pretty sure when you see these ratings for yourself, you will be truly shocked. So we're going to cover the top 10 from 10th to 1st. But before I get into the top 10, I want to give a couple of honourable mentions to people that I think maybe not even deserve to be in the top 10, but people that are not in the top 10 that very easily could have been. We're going to start off with Alan McGregor. He did not make the cut. Only a 74 rating. Thought that was a wee bit harsh. Thought he could have been a wee bit higher. You've got Barisic, 73 rated. Again, I think he's a great left back for Rangers. Could have been a wee bit higher. You got Lee Griffiths, who I know he's been out for a long time, but 72 rating. Really, I mean, this is a guy that scored 2 magical free kicks against England. This is on form. Come on, he deserves. At his best, he deserves a gold card at least. I think 72 was very low. Ryan Kent, 72 really. I mean, you'd have to say he's one of Rangers' better players. There's a reason why clubs in the English Premiership wanted Ryan Kent. And a 72 silver card, I think, is absolutely shocking. Not even a rare silver, a fucking non-rare silver card. Absolutely shocking. And Sam Cosgrove only got a 69 rating. Damn near criminal, in my opinion. The last couple of seasons, he's been banging in almost, 20, if not 20 goals, almost 20 goals a season. Why is this guy not getting... I'm not saying he deserves maybe not even a gold, but come on, he must be at least on the fucking fringe of getting a gold card. He doesn't even get 70. What the hell is that? So there you go, guys. There's a couple of players that I think have been horribly underrated in this game. So there's the honourable mentions out of the way. And now we'll start with number 10, and I'm going to tell you guys this is an absolute shocker. And you're probably not going to believe it, guys, but number 10 is Odswin Edouard. How the hell is Celtic's main striker only rated 75? And at 75, that means he is the 10th best player in the Scottish Premiership. I just do not get this at all. I know a lot of Celtic fans are on about he's worth 200. He's not worth 200 million, but come on, he's a hell of a lot better than a 75 rating. In my opinion, he must be at least close to 80. He has to be around that mark. If not 80, perhaps even higher. Because the guy has scored for fun. The guy has been banging in the goals ever since he became the main man at Celtic and he replaced Dembele. 75 rating. Damn near criminal in my opinion. The lowest you can give this guy would be a 78 would be harsh. A 78 would be harsh for Edouard. So how they can give him a 75, I really don't know. They've given him 82 pace, only 74 for shooting. I can't really agree with that. Dribbling 80, he's a decent dribbler, the boss. Should he be higher than 80? Possibly. Physical, only 73. I mean, Edouard is a big man. I think his physical should be higher than that. Attacking position 73. I think it should be higher than that. Composure 82. Acceleration 84, agility 82, balance 82, jumping 74, sprint speed 80, stamina 77, strength 77, ball control 78. I'm looking at some of the finishing 79. I think it should be a bit higher. Good finisher, when he gets a chance, he doesn't really often miss. That's pretty much his main stats there. There's some traits and celebrations: finesse, shot, flair, chip shot, and technical dribbler. So even they're putting over the fact he has a good dribbler because they've given that trait, but his dribbling they've only given 80. I think for a striker he should be a bit higher. 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. 75, man, fuck's sake, EA, catch a grip. That is absolutely shocking. He is number 10. Not even a rare gold card, man. He didn't even get a rare gold card. A non-rare. What the hell are they playing at? What is that? Now you might think, well, EA, they're obviously, they're a bunch of Huns that support the jails. That's what you might be thinking right now. But when you see who NumberNine is, you're going to see that is obviously not true. And with that being said, NumberNine is Alfredo Morelos, the same rating as Edward, 75. Who came up with this? Whose idea was it to give two of the most prolific? I know Morelos can't score against Celtic, but I don't need to joke about it. Like, we know if he hasn't scored and probably never will score against Celtic. But let's be real, Morelos and Edward, two of the most prolific strikers in Britain, and they only get a 75 rating each. It makes no sense. You can see it in Morelos there, 81 pace, 73 shooting, 71 dribbling, physical 85, only 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, aggression 89, attacking position 80. I think his actually be a lot higher. I think his attacking position is really good. Vision isn't the best there. His composure 70. I mean, if it's against Celtic, I mean, that's probably fair, but I'd say his composure should be a wee bit higher than that. Acceleration 82, balance 84, jumping 83. Reactions, I'd say his reactions are pretty damn good. 66, I think, is terrible. Sprint speed 88, strength's good. Ball control 71, dribbling 73, finishing 79. Same finishing as Edward, I believe. Head and accuracy 74, shot power 77. His traits and celebrations is solid player trait and playmaker trait. I don't get it, guys. How is Morelos, and Edward only 10th and 9th best player? It doesn't make any sense to me. I'd have no problems with these two being the first and second best player in terms of ratings. I think that would be fair, and I think I could see them easily both hitting 80. If not 80, high 70s. To give them both a 75, it's damn near criminal, man. That's what it is. It's fucking shocking. Let's call it what it is. No, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. Fuck you, you've shafted these guys. So there you go. Arguably the two best players in Scotland are only rated 75, 9 and 10th. I don't get it. If you get it, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, guys, down below. Who do you think's better, and what do you think of these ratings? I mean, I think it's debatable. I think both of them are good. I can make a point for both players being better than each other, but I think no matter who you support, I think you've got to agree, Rangers, Celtic, or none of the old firm, both of these ratings are diabolical, and EA need to do something about it. And I know they won't, because they don't give a fuck about Scottish football, but it's shocking nonetheless. At number 8 we have Ryan Christie. Again, a 75 rated player. You can see his stats there. I mean, he's got a lot of greens apart from defending, but obviously you wouldn't expect him with the defending. Skill moves 3 stars, weak foot 4 stars. Pace 80, dribbling 77. I thought his dribbling might have been a wee bit better than that. Aggression 79. So I mean, you'll get stats, and a lot of them are decent. They're all almost kicking about the green. So if you're in the green, you're all right, really. Ball control 75, dribbling 77. Short pass 75. It's got the finesse shot. He's got flair, long shot taker, technical ability dribbler. I mean, I don't know if 75's harsh on Christie, but let's be real, this guy shouldn't be rated. I don't think he should be rated the same as Morelos and Edward. A year or two ago, this guy, he arguably was the best player in the league, or one of the best players in the league. Last year, he didn't have the best of years. This year, he's not been as good either. So I can understand how, I think his ratings came down a wee bit. Was he not 77 in last year's game? I don't know. I can understand he's came down a wee bit, but I still think 75 is a wee bit harsh. I think I could have seen Christie being a 76, 77 rated, maybe even 78 rated player, but they've only gave him 75. I'm not as outraged about Christie as I am, obviously, Edward and Morelos, but still, I think it's a wee bit. I think it's a wee bit underrated there. And again, it's because he plays in the Scottish Premiership. Number 7 on the list, we have another Celtic player, is Christopher Julian. He is also rated 75, so a lot of 75 rated players here. You can see a lot of his stats are not in the green, but the main stats don't tend to favour, more bigger, physical, more defensive-minded players. So you can see 65 pace, 50 shooting. If you've seen Julian shoot, then 50 shooting is probably maybe a wee bit generous. So, passing 60, dribbling 60, 74 defending, 84 physical. 84 physical is not bad, but I think he should be a wee bit higher than that. Aggression 85, jumping 82, stamina 77, strength 87. I guess with the stats that matter for a centre back, he's doing alright. so that's something. Defensive awareness 75, heading accuracy 85, long pass 72. Pretty good for his long pass. I mean, he has a good pass. He's a decent passer of the ball when he's playing it up top. It's not too bad a rating actually, but could have been a wee bit higher. Who knows? Slide tackle 74, and his traits and celebrations: dives into tackles, leadership, long passer, and power header. Again, 75. I think it's a wee bit low. I think it could have been a couple of ratings higher. I think it could have been 77, 78, and I wouldn't have had an issue with it. I think 75 is too low. Let me know what you think. If you disagree, then fucking eat me, but I just think 75 is a wee bit... It's a bit too low, man. I think everyone on this list... Well, I'm not going to speak too soon. Not everyone, but I think most players on this list could have been given at least 2 ratings higher. Anyway, that was number 6. Moving on to number... That was number 7, actually. Apologies. Moving on to number 6. We have the second and last Rangers player on the list. It is James Tavernier, the right back. He has also been given a rating of 75. I'm going to say it's harsh. I think Tavernier should be rated higher, but he shouldn't be rated the same as Morelos. He just shouldn't be. It's not right. It's definitely not right. Speaking of 75, a lot of these ratings seem to sit... Someone like Kent should have been given a 75. Maybe Barisic should have been given a 75. And then push Morelos. So I am pissed off, man. These ratings are shocking. I'm not going to lie. They're fucking dreadful. But anyway, here you see Tavernier's stats. 86 pace, 72 passing, 73 dribbling, 78 physical, 85 acceleration, 78 sprint speed, 87. I think that's pretty good for... I don't think Tavernier's got that much pace. So his speed and acceleration is decent. Stamina 87, strength 79. I mean, all round the stats are not... Penalties 80. I mean, come on, that can't be right. The guy scores penalties all the time. Alright, I know he missed that fucking one against Celtic, but I mean, Rangers just seem to bottle against Celtic, so I can't base their stats on what they do against Celtic. I'm doing what they do overall, and 80 for penalties, that is low. He should be high 80s at least, I think, in my opinion, maybe even a 90. Because the guy, more often than not, he does score penalties. Traits and celebrations, solid player, leadership and early crosser, and so that's Tavernier. Now I did say this was the last Rangers player, and it's not because the rest of the list is filled with other Aberdeen and Hibs and Motherwell players. Unfortunately not. The top 5 is in fact all Celtic, so if you're a non-Old Firm fan, none of your team's players made the list. Apologies for that. But now we'll move on to the top 5. And coming in at number 5, it is Scott Brown. Now, yes, I know he's only rated 75. You could argue, what is the difference between, Scott Brown at number 5 and Edouard at number 10? You could argue they're all joint 75. Now, yes, you could make that case, but what it means is, if you add up all of Scott Brown's stats, he gets a higher number, combined than the guy in 10th place does. So that's what it's ranked in order of. So even though overall they're 75, if you had to add up all of Scott Brown's stats, the stats are higher than Edouard's. Now, don't go adding that up to try and prove me wrong, because you might prove me wrong, but I'm going to assume that's what it is. So I think it's fair to assume that's the case. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. A lot of people think Scott Brown's an arsehole. I think he's an arsehole to an extent, but I like the guy. I think he's good. I like watching games with Scott Brown. The guy's a character, he's like kind of when you used to have like Roy Keane run the boot in the Premiership. That's what Scott Brown reminds me of. He might be a bit more of a shite bag than Roy Keane, but he's just one of those players that you get entertained by, because anything can happen. He can draw red cards. He can get red. Well, he doesn't get red cards because the fucking referees never seem to give him any. But the guy commits about 10 fouls a game that are worthy of red cards. And he's a fun player to watch, but let's be real, man, this guy is nowhere near as good as he used to be. He's getting on in age, and he cannot be the same rating as players that I've already mentioned on this list, especially, I'm going to go back to them, Morelos and Edouard. To give him the same rating as those two, it's fucking... It's not right, man. It's not... Who made these ratings? Who the fuck made them? I had enough. I'm tempted to stop the list right here. Absolute fucking nonsense. And with that said, let's have a quick look at some of Scott Brown's stats. So you can see pace, he's pish, he's old, he's done. I mean, the guy's a captain, but he's not. He's not. He's just not the fifth best player in Scotland. I'm sorry, he's not. He's definitely not. He's not even in top 10 yet. He's been ranked fifth. I mean, is Brown really overall better than like a Ryan Kent? Is he? I mean, I don't think so. Is Brown better than a Sam Cosgrove? I don't think so. With our problem, I mean, you could argue that the guy is more important to a team. You know, he's a team player. He's someone that you want in there. He's, you know, he's like maybe not necessarily the most technical gifted player, but he's someone that you want in your team. But the rating should reflect that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just I don't know. You know, the guy might be a good leader, he might be a good captain, but that doesn't make him a better bloody player than Edouard. It just shouldn't have a higher rating. Physical 81. I'll quickly go through these. Aggression, because this is dragging on. Aggression 88, composure 86. You see a lot of the stats have went down, especially with the likes of his speed, vision, acceleration, sprint speed. They're all really low now due to his age. Ball control's pretty low. Shot power, short pass, slide tackle's decent. Where's the aggression? 88. It could have been a bit higher. Like traits and celebrations, solid player, team, and exactly like I was saying, I didn't even look at them before, but I was mentioning how he's a leader and how he's a team player, and I've got no issue with that. He is. If you want to give him traits that represent, you know, his leadership qualities, then I'm all for that. But you've got to do something that makes him not as the same rating as like the likes of Edouard. You've just got to do it because it's game breaking. I mean, who wants that? It would be like saying, I don't know. Let me try and think of someone. Let me think. Well, this is embarrassing because I can't fucking think. But oh man. For argument's sake, let's say Puyol, right? Puyol was a great leader for Barcelona, right? No doubt about it. A great captain. But you wouldn't give him the same rating as Messi. You just wouldn't do that, you know what I mean? Because the guy wasn't as fucking good. Now you could argue, oh, he might be as pivotal to the team as Messi in other ways, and that's fair enough. You know what I mean? No one's denying that. But it's like, you know what I mean? Roy Keane wasn't as gifted as the likes of Giggs or Scholes, but he done a different job in the Man United team, and that's fair enough. That's what Scott Brown does, but he shouldn't be the same rating. He just shouldn't. And I'll argue that point all day long. So Scott Brown there, he is number 5. Moving on to number 4 is El Yunusi. Again, another 75 rated player. Everyone seems to be stuck at 75. You see his pace, shooting, passing, dribbling. It's all decent, but nothing to write home about. 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Aggression, 68. A lot of green in there. His agility, his pace and stuff is all decent. I don't think this guy's that good. I think he's a decent player. Do you know what I mean? But to me, he's 75. I mean, is El Yunusi really 3 ratings higher than Kent? I don't see it. Traits and celebrations. He's got flair and technical dribbler. And that is it. So there you go. El Yunusi, apparently the 4th best rated player in Scotland. I really, really don't see it. I'd struggle to put this guy in the top 10, but somehow he's got 4th. I just think EA have massively got this one wrong. Number 3 on the list, we have James Forrest, 76. So finally we get someone higher rated than 75. No surprise to see his pace really good. 88, dribbling 79, skill moves 4-star, weak foot 3-star. He's getting up there in age. You can see acceleration, agility, balance, sprint speed, all very solid. The guy will be bombing in the wing for days. Foot much baller, ball control, crossing, curves are decent. So you can obviously whip in the crosses. Dribbling and finishing again is decent. Short pass and shot power is decent. Finesse shot, speed dribbler, outside foot shot. A solid player to have in your team. Definitely a key player for Celtic. I've got no real complaints. If you want to say James Forrest is in the top 3 players in the Scottish Premiership, that is fair enough. I think his rating should be higher than 76, so I think that's wrong. Should be a wee bit higher. 77, 78, 79, perhaps, you know. But I think 76 is a wee bit too low. Now we're moving on to the top 2. And at number 2 it is Callum McGregor. Very good ratings here. 77 rated, so obviously he's went up one. 80 pace, 74 passing, 78 dribbling, 71 defending, 76 physical. Aggression's good, composure's good. A lot of good stats there. Stamina 92, ball control 81, curve 74, defensive awareness 75, dribbling 76, long shot 72, short pass 81, slide tackle 72, straights and celebrations, lots of stuff there. Solid player, finesse shot, playmaker, team player, and technical dribbler. So very solid for McGregor. But in my opinion, McGregor has went down in my estimation a wee bit the last couple of seasons. I don't know. I mean, he's definitely, in my opinion, he's definitely not the second best player in the league. I've got no problem with the rating. I think the rating's probably a bit fair. I'd say 77's fair, but obviously there's just been a lot of players that have been rated way less than they should have been, and I don't think McGregor is in the top two players, and that is just my opinion. Maybe you think differently, but for me, he's definitely not. And speaking of players that don't deserve to be rated high, last, I was going to say but not least, maybe fucking is least. Duffy, Shane Duffy, and you can just see straight away this is how EA have no clue. It's a Premier League, basically a Premier League reject, a guy that's came from England down to Scotland or up to Scotland, whatever, and obviously for that reason he has to get the highest rated card in the league at 77, and to me it's just wrong. It's not right. This guy is not the best player in Scotland. Is he doing alright? Is he having a decent season? Yes, he is. Is he better than Edouard? No, he's not. And it's really that simple. 77 rating. You can see his pace. He's done. His stats aren't the best. Well, I say he's done. He's not done. He's only 28, but I mean, that's what it is. Defending 78, physical 79, aggression 86, jumping 89, reaction 76, strength 84. Defensive awareness 76, heading accuracy 84. Don't get me wrong, for a centre back, he's got the solid traits. He's got the stats that you need. Do you know what I mean? The important ones like the heading and the physical, defending, all that stuff is good. Leadership, power header, and team player. So they're all good traits to have. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's all right. I'm not denying that, but he's not the best player in Scotland, and Cal McGregor's not the second best. And for Scotland not to get any players that are rated higher than 77 is embarrassing. For Rangers to only get 2 gold cards is embarrassing. For Edouard not to get a rare gold card is embarrassing. They've massively underrated the Old Firm. Well, don't get me wrong, they've underrated Celtic, but they've definitely fucked over Rangers a lot more. I mean, these are two teams that are in the Europa League getting good results against good teams over the last couple of seasons, yet they've been shafted in this game. Why, I don't know. Yet, they'll fucking rate shite teams in the English league as if they're bloody Barcelona. Makes no sense to me, guys. So there's the top 10 list. I'll quickly run through them in order from 10th to 1st one last time. And we have Edouard Morelos, Ryan Christie, Christopher Julian, James Tavernier, Scott Brown, Mohamed Elyounoussi, James Forrest, Cal McGregor, and Shane Duffy. That is the top 10 list in the game according to EA, certainly not according to me. Let me know what you think, guys, down below. Is there anyone in this list that you disagree with being in the top 10? Is there anyone you think should be higher or lower? And who do you think that wasn't in the top 10 that should be? And do you think there's anyone from outside the Old Firm that should have made the top 10? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say there's a lot of players, but I think Sam Cosgrove definitely could have been up there with a shout, but he wasn't. Would McKenna have been in the top 10 if he hadn't have let... Wait, that's actually... We're going to double check that. We're going to see what Scott McKenna's rating is, just because he went to England. Now, if he'd went to the Premiership, they probably would have put his rating up by about fucking 25 points or some shit like that, but he didn't. He went to Nottingham Forest, so we'll just quickly check here. If I can find them. 70 rating? What? Are you serious? What is it with the... That's embarrassing, man. That is mental. Fuck you, EA. You bunch of robbing bastards. But anyway, guys, that is it. There is the top 10 rated players in the Scottish Premiership. I will make a video on the players that I think were massively underrated. and that'll be coming up soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But hey, guys, there you go. That is the top 10 according to FIFA. Let me know what your top 10 is down below. And until next time, peace.